Donald Trump's team is pushing back at reports that the White House office space, usually reserved for the First Lady, will be used by his daughter, Ivanka. She was present at a meeting with top Silicon Valley execs yesterday, and along with her brothers, Don Jr. and Eric. And the question is, if the kids are going to run the blind trust, what are they doing sitting in on these meetings?
He needs to separate Ivanka. I get why he wants Ivanka. And
She's a smart girl.
She's smart.
She also has interest in Asia, which is probably why she was there at the other meeting.
Her clothing line.
Her clothing line, yeah. She's very business savvy, though.
Made in America. Wait a minute.
Well, that's not everything.
But that's the thing. No, that's the argument.
Right?
That was his whole thing.
And because she has businesses in Asia, because she has businesses all over the world, and because she is a business person, why is she sitting in on meetings with tech giants, business meetings? Why is she sitting in on meetings with the Japanese Prime Minister?
Somebody has to explain things to Donald.
Well, there was a nepotism law that passed in 1967 by President Lyndon B. Johnson that barred public officials from hiring their relatives. It applied to members of Congress and the President of the United States. A public official may not appoint, employ, promote, advance, or advocate for appointment, employment, promotion, or advancement in any individual who is a relative.
That's because of John Kennedy and Robert Kennedy.
And because John F. Kennedy appointed his brother as the Attorney General, and people were very upset about it, and that was sort of the backlash. And so there is precedent for having this kind of relationship with a family member, but doesn't it just have that appearance of impropriety?
Well, it has it has a stink to it.
It has a stink
It just
to
has
it.
a stink to it.
It actually doesn't really bother me. I mean, it's legal for the, as part of a transition team. It doesn't bother me, and it wouldn't have bothered me if Hillary Clinton had won and Chelsea Clinton had been if had been advising her.
You remember the conversation we had
with
about
the foundation,
and
but I would expect
people
for
were
me,
very upset about it.
For me, I expect this is happening in the public, and I think this happens all the time. I think it would be odd to me if Hillary Clinton had won if she didn't seek the guidance of Bill Clinton and Chelsea, who frankly
but that's
is very
what everybody's
smart.
saying now. I do recall everybody was very up in arms about this.
Right.
And also, people were up in arms whenever you put family in, because you remember they were mad with Carter and his brother, and they were mad with Bill and his brother. I mean, so no, family is, family's over there. You should not, because then we can't tell what your intent is when you're doing stuff.
Well, I think if you detach her from the businesses, though, I mean, look, Ivanka has to make a choice. Does she want to be part of the administration, or does she want to run his businesses? You really can't do both.
No, he needs to make that decision.
She has to detach from that angle. If you want to be a public servant, if you want to speak for the American people,
I don't want his kids running
then
stuff.
you have to get out of
I don't want his kids.
I want Melania to be head speechwriter. What do you say?
Michelle better live close by.
With a little consultation from Michelle.
No, but the one thing that was kind of, I actually feel it does have a stink to it, and I don't like it. The one thing that kind of gave me a little hope is the environment's really important to me, and if Ivanka is indeed she's had some meetings with environmental leaders, if there was any way to sneak in some goodness for the environment and it came through Ivanka.
That's what it's come to now, where you got to sneak in a little goodness on the environment.
Trump is just not a believer in any of the things that are really important right now for the environment. So if Ivanka could headline those and get them in
I don't want to be living under... Look, I want the United States to be the United States. I want us... I'm sorry. I'm an old-fashioned kind of girl. I like the idea. I didn't want Robert Kennedy running the Justice Department. It was bad because it took on the idea that if I didn't like you as president, I could tell my brother to go get you. That's why they did that. So I don't want that. I don't want the stink of that itsy-bitsy bit of impropriety. Because if we're going into kind of treacherous waters, as I think we may be heading into, I would like to have a clarity. I don't want it to be as muddy as everything.